close your eyes for a moment. Picture the weight of Earth pressing down, cool and unyielding, sealing out the light. The world above grows distant, the voices that once cheered for you now just a memory, fading into silence. All you hear is the muffled echo of laughter, growing fainter as the dirt piles higher. This isn't just being buried in the ground, it's what it feels like to be buried by life itself. Buried under doubt. Buried under betrayal. Buried under failure. Buried beneath every whispered word that told you you'd never be enough. It's suffocating. Maybe you know that place. Maybe you're there right now, wondering how you ended up so deep, wondering if anyone even notices how heavy it is to keep carrying what you carry. You remember when you stood tall, open to the sun, your spirit unburdened. But somewhere along the way, life, or people, decided you didn't belong in the light. They tried to cover you up, to dim your shine, to silence your voice. They wanted to erase you, to make you disappear. That's the cruel illusion of being buried. It feels like the end. And that's exactly what they wanted. Whoever they are in your story, the doubters, the betrayers, the ones who left, you were meant to be finished, forgotten, left behind. But here's the truth they missed. Not everything buried is lost. Not everything buried is dead. Some things buried are only just beginning. This is where your story changes. Because when they buried you, they overlooked something vital. They forgot what you truly are. You're not a stone, destined to stay hidden forever. You're not broken glass, meant to be discarded and forgotten. You're not refuse, left to decay. You're a seed. And seeds are made for darkness. Seeds are made for the dirt. Seeds are meant to be pressed down, meant to be buried, meant to break open before they rise. The darkness doesn't destroy the seed, it awakens it. The soil doesn't suffocate, it nourishes. So when you hear those words, they tried to bury me, but they didn't know I was a seed. Remember, being buried isn't your ending. It's your beginning. The deeper you're pressed, the stronger you'll rise. The soil presses in, cool and relentless. Darkness wraps around you, thick and absolute. At first, it feels like nothing, just stillness, just silence. But beneath that quiet, something stirs. Something ancient, something alive. The seed begins to crack. If you've ever held a seed, you know how unremarkable it seems, tiny, fragile, easy to overlook. Yet inside, it holds a force strong enough to shatter stone, to break through concrete, to reach for the sun. But here's the secret. That power stays hidden until the seed is buried. Until it's pressed down, covered, forgotten by the world above. That's the transformation. What looks like breaking is actually becoming. The seed splits, not because it's dying, but because it's ready to grow. The shell that once protected it must shatter so that new life can emerge. Think about your own journey. The times you've been buried by disappointment, heartbreak, or loss. The moments when the world felt too heavy, when you wondered if you'd ever see the light again. Did you notice how those moments cracked you open? How they forced you to let go of old versions of yourself? Pain strips away what's no longer needed. It peels back comfort, exposes truth, and demands that you face who you really are. Yes, pain breaks you, but it also wakes you. And once you've awakened, you can't return to what you were. Like the seed, you're meant to push forward, to rise. It's almost poetic. Being buried is what sets growth in motion. Without the soil, the seed remains just a seed, potential locked away, never realized. But once it's pressed into darkness, everything changes. It fights. It transforms. So do you. Every challenge, every setback, every betrayal that feels like someone burying you, those are the moments that ignite your transformation. Pressure creates movement. Darkness builds hunger. Pain sharpens resolve. You don't grow only in the sunshine, you grow in the soil. That's what they missed when they tried to bury you. They thought they were ending your story. But really, they were planting you. They were giving you the very ground you needed to change, to expand, to evolve. Let them pile on the dirt. Let them think they've silenced you. What they see as your grave is really your garden. Because when a seed awakens, nothing can hold it back. Picture this. You pour your heart into your work, late nights, early mornings, every ounce of creativity you have. Then, when the spotlight comes, it lands on someone else. They're the ones shaking hands, collecting praise, while you stand in the shadows, invisible. In that moment, it feels like a shovel of dirt landing on your back. Like all your effort was for nothing. Like you've been buried. But what if that burial is actually the start of something new? What if being overlooked is the very thing that forces your roots to grow deeper, your resolve to harden? Maybe that moment is what pushes you to build something of your own, to sharpen your skills, to demand more for yourself than you ever thought possible. Now, think about relationships. Maybe someone you trusted let you down. They lied, they left, or they made you feel small. At first, it's suffocating, like you're gasping for air beneath the weight of their betrayal. But over time, you realize the soil they buried you in is rich with lessons. Heartbreak teaches you self-respect. It draws boundaries you never knew you needed. It opens your eyes to the kind of love you truly deserve. Out of that burial, you grow into someone stronger, wiser, and more resilient than before. Or maybe it's failure. You launch a dream, a project, a business, and it falls flat. People watch. Some even smirk. That sting? That's soil, too. Because failure plants humility, discipline, and grit deep inside you. Those roots will hold you steady when your next attempt takes off, when your growth is undeniable, when you finally break through and reach for the light. Here's the truth: soil is everywhere. It comes as criticism, rejection, betrayal, or defeat. Every time you feel buried by it, you have a choice. You can stay under, suffocating in anger and regret, or you can remember what seeds do. You can dig deeper. You can let the pressure, the darkness, the heaviness fuel your transformation. That's the magic of the saying, "They tried to bury me, but didn't know I was a seed." It's not just about surviving. It's about seeing the opportunity in every setback. What looks like an ending is really a beginning. What feels like suffocation is actually incubation. What others think will destroy you only develops you. So the next time life throws dirt your way, pause. Feel it. Then smile. Because you know the truth, you're not being buried. You're being planted. Growth begins in silence. Deep underground, where no one is watching, roots twist and reach, anchoring you to something solid. Above, the world sees nothing. They think you've vanished. They believe the burial was final. But beneath the surface, you're changing. You're gathering every lesson, every ounce of pain, every spark of hope. You're storing energy, letting the darkness shape you, letting the pressure forge you into something unstoppable. Then, one day, the world shifts. The soil trembles. A crack appears. And through that crack, a sliver of green emerges, delicate, almost invisible, but alive. That first push through the dirt is quiet, but it's everything. It's the moment you prove that nothing can keep you down. This is what rising feels like. All the weight that once threatened to crush you now becomes your foundation. Every handful of dirt thrown your way becomes proof of your resilience. When you finally break through, you don't just rise, you erupt. You stand taller, stronger, with roots so deep that no storm can shake you. Look at nature. A flower never apologizes for blooming. A tree doesn't shrink because of the shadows around it. They rise unashamed, reaching for the sun no matter who tried to bury them. And so do you. Those who doubted you, those who tried to silence you, thought the darkness would be your end. They didn't see the transformation happening in the quiet. They didn't realize that seeds are built to rise. So when you stand in the light, it's not just a comeback, it's a declaration. You are living proof that what was meant to end you only made you stronger. You were never the grave. You were always the seed. And here's the most beautiful part. When you bloom, you don't just rise for yourself. Your growth becomes shelter for others. Your story becomes their hope. Your life becomes a living testament that no matter how deep the burial, the seed always finds the sun. Let them throw dirt. Let them believe they've won. You don't need to fight with anger or revenge. Your existence, your rise, is the victory. And one day, when they see you standing tall, they'll understand. They didn't bury you. They planted you.